Defense coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Here's Cairo Santos now, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And able to get this out to the 25. Quickly to the air is Wilson. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, anytime you sack Russell Wilson, that's a win for the defense. But to get him here on his opening drive of the ball game, that's a really big win for that defense.
And the goal every week, keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get to the perimeter, because when he's in the open field, not only can he hurt you, but also you lose sight of receivers downfield, and they'll hurt you with big plays.
And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, and he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Tracy going to get it on first down. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on first down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Tracy trying the right side. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he doesn't quite make it. Taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
On the ground, here comes Tracy. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run. And the Giants will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Looking to throw is Williams. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack. Well, the very first thing they told us, Charles, was we need to apply pressure early, and I would call that early pressure a nice sack to start the game.
And on the other sideline, I just have this image in my mind of the head coach on the headset with the offensive coordinator asking him if that's exactly what he saw in his mind when he called that play. And if so, is it going to be like this all day? That's a tough one right there. You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
To throw, it's Williams. And that one too wide and incomplete.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt, and it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal.
Here's Wilson to throw. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Montez Sweat, the man that time to fight in and drop him.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
Taken down at the 47-yard line. From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7. Slot man moves right. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. Here's Wilson. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
On fourth down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So a roughing the passer penalty there, CD.
And we know that these pass rushers love to get after rookie quarterbacks, but they've still got to do it within the scope of the rules. And that time, the hit came just a little bit too late. And the official won't even think twice about pulling his flag on that one.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Swift going to try up the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. They're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 43 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 27. Play action. Now Williams. And there's a short throw. It's caught by Kmet. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far on this drive. This offense on the march.
Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. To throw, Williams. That's caught at the 1. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. Swift. And he is going to lose yardage here. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
How about that stand defensively? The sticks were moving against them. 1st down after 1st down was being piled up. They had driven all the way down the field, and then they ran into a wall on 3rd and goal. Nice job regrouping. Very impressive.
Santos' kick is up and through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the second quarter as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll start with a run by Tracy, and he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. From the 29, here's a 2nd and 7. Right back to Tracy. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a 1st down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Wilson. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Wilson. Catch made by Slayton. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Wilson. That is caught. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I didn't like the look of that play right from the beginning. I thought he should have seen the coverage that was there, tried to force it in. That one, he's fortunate, just fell incomplete.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the 1st on 3rd. Play action. Now Wilson. Oh, and that is incomplete.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Williams. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. Blitz came there from the inside, and there just wasn't much resistance.
No, not at all. That means that defensively, they timed it up perfectly and matched up perfectly. They drew all the blockers to the other guys, left a free runner back to the quarterback, and you know what a free runner turns into?
What?
A free hitter.
And he powers his way up past the 30. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
3rd down and 13. Throwing is Williams. Flush to his right. And a tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
A 40-yard punt, no return. Another drive coming up for New York's offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Noah Sewell there to make that play defensively.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
Motioning to the left is Robinson. Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
Here's Wilson. And the catch made by Johnson. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. He's up to 70 yards now in this first half receiving as he's got a first down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Dio Dangbo there to make the play defensively.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, helped their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll go again with Tracy. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Wilson. The window closed up there, and it's behind him and incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 27. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Bears take over. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll run the draw here with Swift. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. In motion, Slayton. Running left is Tracy. And pretty good pursuit there defensively. He's brought down, no gain on the play. 2nd down coming up. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring him down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
On the give, it's Tracy. And this will be a Giants 1st down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
2 1st downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Now Wilson. Left side, he's got Robinson. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 39. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
That ball caught by Slayton. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, 39 yards. And the Giants are able to widen their advantage. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Extra point try good by Gano. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Chicago offense set to get started. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. To the air, Williams. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Here's Williams. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. From the shotgun, Wilson. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Now it's Wilson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. Easy to tell who they're targeting on this drive. He caught the first 2 passes, but then this time unable to hook up.
But I don't think that stops them from continuing to go back to him, do you?
No.
I mean, they've got a plan. They're trying to execute it.
And after that second catch, I saw him in the huddle. He said, hey, let's go back one more time. Didn't work there. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. Again, Wilson. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Throwing again here, Wilson. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. And the Bears are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll try and set up the screen to Swift. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Looking to throw is Williams. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. To throw, it's Williams. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Williams now. A final shot before break. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our score as we are back underway on EA Sports. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack, but that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
They will run straight ahead with Swift. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Dexter Lawrence finding his way through defensively for the stop. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, Williams. And that is incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
On is Santos for the Bears field goal. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. Santos' kick is up and through, and a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. And let's get the ball back for us.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Robinson's got it. What do they have for this? 3rd and 11. Here's Wilson. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Tyreek Stevenson picks it off. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Well, Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And New York set to take the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Two yards to go, 2nd down. And Robinson, the motion man right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. But defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
They go play action now. Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch, I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the 2nd half.
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down. Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 37. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and 5. They'll hand it to Tracy. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Wilson to throw. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. Gano's kick is good, and they take a 17-14 lead. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
And the tackle there by Micah McFadden.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 81 yards on the ground here for Swift. He's got a 1st down as well.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Once again, it's Swift. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Here's 2nd and 3. On the handoff, this is Swift. And he stopped immediately there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. New York set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best.
Exactly.
Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On the run is Tracy. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Here's Tracy. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, second down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Here's Wilson. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Now Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 42. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Wilson has this complete to Daniel Bellinger.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
They'll run on first down. Tracy, and forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Wilson. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
A little bit of finger pointing and heavy discussion going on in the defensive backfield. It's man coverage, but they've got to be counting their lucky stars that this ball was over.
On that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll get this one to a drive as the Giants have a first down.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
Now Wilson. Looking left.
Just nowhere to go with the football. He was forced to put his receivers have to do a better job of working free because he didn't have anywhere to go at all on that play.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Wilson will throw again. Going right side, he finds Slayton. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Throwing is Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. 4th down. Here's Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Giants are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. 4th and 2. They got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Now it's Tracy. And this time he is in.
Yes.
A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Giants will add to their 4th quarter lead.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Gano the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Bears offense ready to get going again. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. They show run with 3 tight ends here on 1st down. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Working out of the gun, Williams. And his throw here's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
The offense on 3rd down, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 10. To the air, Williams. And that almost intercepted. Oh, they would have loved to have their first pick of the game right there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now it's Wilson. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw. Wilson. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. It's Gervon Dexter who got in to drop him. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
Ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
Powers through. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return. The Bears offense out there set and ready to go. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 46. Throwing is Williams. And that's out to the flat for Swift. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it's 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw is Williams. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
From the gun, here's Williams. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
It's been clear in this matchup which side has been the more physical one. It's been this defense. And here's another example on that last play.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Santos' kick is up and through, and this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Montez Sweat picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And smartly going into the slide there, Wilson has enough for the first.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Second and 6. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here is 3rd and 5. Wilson to throw. That's to the sideline and incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
Here's Jamie Gillen now as he's on for the 5th time here today. This is taken around the 12. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. So now the Bears down by 7. 1:39 to go. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
He'll get this complete to the rookie from Washington. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
Nice, well coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Just the one timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. I don't know that those medium 5-ish yard gains are going to do it right now. Probably should have dropped it, right?
Yeah, that way you save more time on the clock, but I know receivers, they think they can catch it and break a tackle and turn it into a big gain.
This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. They'll go. Here's Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. Down to their last chance now. This is going to have to be a heave for the end zone and just hope for a miracle.
And I don't sit back with everyone back defending. I've got to have somebody rushing the quarterback. Don't make it easy for him to set up and throw the ball all the way downfield.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. This to possibly force OT. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over. What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say so long from Soldier Field.